you say goodnight to the people? Come on. Oh, what a pretty girl. We should review these toys, huh? Yeah. What a cute baby. What? You cannot come on the sofa. I'll throw it for you. You want me to throw it for you? No. Off. Thank you. Get it here. Come on. Get down. Off. Sombra. Why are you on the couch? Get down. Get down. Get down. You're not supposed to be up here. Your mom's going to be very mad. But you can't get down yourself. Okay. Would you like me to throw your toy? Oh, my hair is all puffy because of the humidity. Like stringy and puffy at the same time. Is that like possible? No, you're not coming up here, princess. You ready? You don't want me to throw it for you? Well, anyone who watched this, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good day. Hope you had a nice good look at my puppy dog. Where is she? Sombra. Up. You don't want to show your toy? Like pressing your toy against things? Yeah. Doesn't like to share. Can I have it? Hello. Can I have your toy? Go ahead. How are you? No. We're not going up on the sofa, remember? No. You're a little bit too chubby to get off by yourself. You're too chubby to get off the sofa by yourself. I'm an adult. It doesn't matter as long as you're an adult. Oh, what a good baby. The toy set I got her do you want to do your work?
No, you're fine.
Okay. The toy set I got her is from BarkBox.
What?
Oh, I was just putting on I like to take a little video of her.
Oh.
I
thought you were talking to me as I was leaving.
Oh, sorry, I know, I sound like I asked a question. So BarkBox has, thank you, she is very pretty and she knows it. It was a little picnic basket, and the picnic basket had, hold on a second. So it came in a picnic basket, and the picnic basket had the juice box. It had a little half of a sandwich, like a triangle piece of a sandwich, like quote unquote sandwich that had a squeaker in it. The juice box, the apple juice box has a squeaker in it. And then there's a cookie, like a doggy toy chocolate chip cookie. That also has a squeaker in it. And they all fit inside the lunchbox, so it's like 4 toys in one. And like this one, there's a squeaker inside, but it's also like a crinkly toy. And it's been lasting a long time, and I really like it. And I got the whole basket set. I think it was a size small toys for her, because she's really tiny, or extra small. They're like $13. So it's definitely been worth it because she needs to exercise. Her name is Sombra, and she is 7. But we have to remember exactly. That's why we can't go on the sofa. I know you get excited and you think you can get up here, but you can't. But yeah, she's 7, and the vet said we need to play with her, like to get her jaws to stay strong, keep her teeth in good health. And so I do that. No, 7 years. She's 7 years old, actually. I know she looks like a puppy and she acts like a puppy, but she's 7 years old. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly when her birthday is. I'll have to check her doctor records, but she's a little cutie. Yeah, she's 7. Yeah, when she was 7 months old, man, she was teeny. Oh, what a good girl. We have another dog. He's 13 and a half. So I just took care of him and gave him his medicine. She's so cute when she does her little. Oh my gosh. She's just so beautiful. Arizona. Hey, Courtney. And this is Cutie. And every night we say goodnight to Cutie. And we say how pretty you are. And you're now sleepy. And you're so pretty. Yeah, see, Mom's bird is so pretty. Mommy takes good care of her birds. Video ideas? You can always do the cat. But yes, you're doing so good. We're getting used to everybody. Oh, Cutie. Yeah. We haven't had Cutie for very long. Oh, there's 14 of them here. Yeah. So we have a German Shepherd. We have her. And then we have a little Cutie over here. We also had, I call the bird Cutie. Video ideas. If you have animals, always great. Animal videos are just so fun. Other video ideas are like, you know, ask me a question and then see if you want to answer it, and then you can just like answer whatever you want to answer. The humidity here is really high, so my hair is kind of going crazy. But yeah, so you can do that sort of. You can do like favorite things kind of video. You can just tell a random story. Yeah. I don't know, cool kid. And yeah, I'm an adult. Like, for me, age, numbers, all of that, it's like a construct to me. As long as everybody is an adult and understands, like, it's okay. I don't care. I don't want people to judge me based on my age and things like that, because I don't sound or look like it. But that doesn't matter to me. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. But yeah, like, I don't want to get, and when you say things like that on this app, you start getting ads targeted towards that. I don't know if you've noticed that, like with the algorithm. No, I don't, Ashtray. And no one in my family does either. So that's cool. Why do you ask, if you don't mind my asking? Aside from my puffy hair and my headphones. Oh, no, that's why I just asked, why were you wondering, aside from my puffy hair and my headphones? No, I do have ADHD and I'm good. I was looking at dresses today for the big event, which I'm still stressed, so don't know when it will be or anything like that, but I'm trying to just let it happen and not force things, because when you force things, like for me, events, yeah, So like the actual like ceremony, we just haven't done that yet. Because it'll just be a whole big thing. But yeah, so we're really happy. Animals, it's great. He's got some work to do right now, so I figured I'd come out here, and then before the support group I have coming up, I would hop on here. And when that's what I'm saying, is like I'm kind of like I don't want to put like stress on myself by like a deadline, you know. So all of our family like lives close by and stuff, so it's not really anything we would really have to plan a lot in advance like other people's, if that makes sense. Like we can gather everyone quickly because we don't have that much going on. So yeah, it's not going to be a big deal when we have it. Like my best friend, she had two. She had one during COVID and then one after COVID, and like spent so much money. And my sister had one, and they just went to the courthouse and they spent so much money. And like, I'm just like, not gonna do that, you know? Really, your first one or my first one? Um, so yeah, I'm grateful that I have that. I don't have anybody putting pressure for anything to happen. Yeah, we have had deaths in our family recently, which also kind of makes it harder to want to plan, if that makes sense. But everything happens to me, everything happens when it's supposed to happen, and you know, that's what I believe. And that I shouldn't have to go too far out of my way to be happy. And I don't want to put a bunch of energy into something just to please other people. Oh, thank you. It's really long, so this part like fell out of my braid, but I had surgery the other day, like a small surgery, and I braided my hair, and so just today I was able to fix it, but then this front piece fell out. But thank you. I've been really trying to take care of it and grow my hair so that the next time I get it cut, I can donate it because it's never been colored. And a lot of people say they love the color of my hair. Do I have tattoos? No, not yet. Well, no, not yet. And I'm not sure I will, but I mean, I would, but I have a lot of allergies, so I'm afraid that I might have some sort of reaction, like skin, if I touch some things with hives and stuff. But my sister has a bunch, you know, I have friends that have a lot. Like, I totally love the art form, and I love looking at them and understanding if they're behind them. My sister has several tattoos, like, she got to remind her of me, which I really appreciate. Like, that kind of stuff means a lot because, you know, it's on your body forever, right? So, yeah. And I did piercings, but I don't use them just because, thank you. I don't use the earrings that much. Like, I'll wear pearl earrings, say if I'm wearing a pearl necklace, because I love that sort of thing. Or like, yes, my sister loves tattoos and piercings. Although, like me, she's having the same problem where the piercings are getting kind of heavy or feeling a little bit funny. That it's not as comfortable anymore. There you go. The piercings aren't as comfortable anymore. But yeah, tattoos are really awesome. My whole family, most of the people in my family have tattoos, even if they don't like advertise it, just because it's really fun. YouTube has some sort of filter, but yes, thank you for saying I have beautiful skin because I take care of it like I have since I was 10, I think. Yeah. So I really appreciate that, because sometimes I can't take care of it, and then I feel like a bad person. But then when I get to taking care of it again, it kind of rehydrates and clears up and everything, and then I feel much better, and then I keep going. And that's kind of where I am right now, is where things are getting back into like clear and healthy and clean. I have warm eyes. Well, thank you. That's a really I've had many people compliment my eyes, and I appreciate that. My room right now, we're in the middle of redecorating. It's kind of like when you have ADHD. I have ADHD. You're always in the middle of redecorating. But yeah, I just try to be kind, and I hope that that comes across, because there's a lot of hate in the world, and there's a lot of horrible things going on, and there are some good things going on, but that's not talked about enough right now. And so if we can talk about the good things, and if we can talk about happiness and animals and things that make us happy, and people that, if people that have like a good countenance, or like, countenance is a weird way to put it, but like a good way of speaking and getting across that is like calm but also warm, like you were saying, warm and inviting, that type of thing. That is what I have always tried to be. I was kind of forced to do it when I was younger, but then I realized when I was about 10, my great grandma, thank you so much, Brutus. Hacker, 1 second. Hi, Angie. And yes, perpetually redecorating. My great grandmother raised me from 10 till like 16. And by the time she passed, let's see, yeah, I had spent all those 6 years with her. And so she really raised me up right. Like, she was in a cult, but like, she was very much a skeptic. So she raised me to also be like, to also know what I'm getting myself into, type of thing. Be very kind. Everybody's the same underneath. That's what she always told me. She said it doesn't matter what you look like. Underneath our skin, we all have the same body parts. We all have the same hearts. We all have brains. We all have, it's all the same. So don't judge people by what they look like, or what, we're not to judge people. And that kind of was, she was in a very small Christian cult that was like very small. And her father was a Baptist preacher, fire and brimstone and everything. And the cult that she entered into was not fire and brimstone, but it was still, it's like a fundamentalist type of thing, which is just basically fire and brimstone. It just had a lot of rules that were anti-women. That's the biggest thing I got out of it, was women had to follow a lot of rules. And yeah, I mean, I still have friends who are in it because their parents are making them be in it. But no, Brutus, the cult I grew up in, on not my great grandma's side, but the other side, Seventh day Adventist. So, like, Seventh day Adventist branch Davidians. Davidians is the branch Davidians are a sect, a more wild sect of the Seventh day Adventist Church, which, yeah, when I have some more time, I'll definitely get into how that was as a child. Very terrifying, because in that church, as you can probably, branch Davidians in Texas. Hey, Hacker, are you back? With the other Branch Davidians in Texas, yes, okay. So his grandmother went to the church the church was in the cult that I was raised in, and she raised him in that cult, just the regular Seventh day Adventist cult. But the reason I'm calling it a cult is because more groups that are tighter, like more controlled, high controlled groups of that religion, yes, it's not really a religion. If you're interested, I will put a link to a video that really helped me understand, even though I was in it for a long time, because when you're in it, you can't see the outside. And once when my grandfather died, and he was pretty high up, like going high up in there, and he was in there his whole life, and his parents were in there their whole lives, and it was just goes back generations. The Seventh day Adventist, not Branch Davidian specifically, but Seventh day Adventist. But they had to do everything by the book. And they believed in the people that wrote things and wrote rules that in the end were horrible, and like it just wasn't true. So I'm lucky I started questioning that as a young person. Because somebody said that the prophetess, and that was the other thing. I learned that they had a prophetess when in Sabbath school, because they do Sabbath instead of Sunday school. They're on Saturdays. That's the whole thing. Seventh day, I guess Saturday, Seventh day Adventist. And they go on Saturday because, and then you can't do anything Friday night before, so sundown before to sundown of that day. And then you have to go like 3 times a week. Plus, like if you're going to their schools, it's like all you're doing is going there. And then you have to pay 10% of your money, all your money. Otherwise, you're not in good standing. And they make you pay to go to their schools, and like they made us work when we couldn't pay. They made us clean the church, the cult place, when we couldn't pay the 10% because we could barely afford our electric bill. Like that was just. Anyway, so once I was seeing that and like how we were being treated just for, being friends with people who listened to music, and it was things like that, and like hearing people just spew so much hate and then turn around and then pretend to be fake, or like say, oh, little girls shouldn't wear earrings, but I'm gonna wear a Rolex to church because it's $10,000, like, and I just want to show off my wealth. I'm going to wear 6 pounds of makeup on my face, but I'm not going to wear any adornments like earrings or necklaces. Just my Rolex that I got for my wedding, because we're not allowed to have wedding rings. Like, they weren't even allowed to have wedding rings because it was considered frivolous. So their their loophole was, oh, I'll give you a really fancy watch. And because it's practical, I guess. Anyway, yeah. Like, yeah, you can use it, but you're not going to wear that watch like every single day, right? Some people did. And I guess they were just really sad about, not having a ring. And like, I get that because it's, a lot of people want that. Like, we found mine at a flea market, like, gorgeous. I love it so much. And it's perfect to me. But yes, the control and money is just, and the hierarchies, it is a scam. Anybody can commune with whatever higher power they want to. Anybody can have whatever spiritual beliefs they want to. I don't care. As long as you're not hurting anybody or yourself, let's go. You do you. And as long as you're being kind and not spreading hate, that's where I'm at. Just be a kind person, And don't judge other people because you're not walking in their shoes. They're walking in their shoes. Yes, it is very crazy. The Seventh day Adventist cult, and especially the Branch Davidians, this is what I was going to get into. It's basically like Jehovah's Witness, where it's a doomsday cult. So, like, it's about the end of the world. And I was like, I still have nightmares from having to go through and learn so much about what's going to happen at the end of the world and what we have to be prepared for and how we're going to be persecuted. And like whenever there's a big event in the world, like every single day around the world, if there's like a big event and I see that something is happening, I'm getting better now. But before, my brain would just go straight to, oh my goodness, okay, now it's starting. The end times is starting right now. So I hope I'm like, I always believe like, I'm a good person. Okay, I know that. Like, I fully in my heart believe I'm a good person. Other people tell me I'm a good person. I have done so much my whole life, and I've just, I'm caring. Yes, okay. So I grew up right around the corner from a Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall. And I didn't know that much about it, except I knew they beat their kids and they did not respect their wives. And I knew that they made mostly the women walk around and knock on everybody's doors, whereas the SDA, that's like they might let you in if you're like perfect or if you're part of the family already. They don't like recruit. The Seventh-day Adventist Church doesn't recruit because they believe they already have all of the number of people that are going to get into heaven, which is that 144,000. Which once I heard that, I was like, psh, y'all got a prophetess? Like, you don't believe women can do anything in the church, but the one person that you think is like the biggest above Jesus or right before Jesus is a woman. But I can't go up there and say anything in front of the church. But you believe this woman, like from a long time ago, even though she said the world was gonna end like 6 times and it didn't. Like that's what I was just like, okay. And then when they said she predicted the falling of the towers, which I watched on TV with my own 2 eyes. Okay? They made us watch it all day and pray for them all day long at school, even though we just wanted to go home. We were terrified. I was like 8, like anyway, they keep proselytize. So the Seventh-day Adventist Church kept picking a new day for the end of the world, a new day for the end of the world, a new day for the judgment day or second coming or whatever. New day, a new day. And then it just kept being wrong. And I think recently they picked a new day. And I was just like, I'm so glad I'm out of there. I'm so glad. Like, I mentally started to check out and just think for myself when I was 10. And I was just kind of, I was trying to fit in so that I didn't stand out so people didn't question me. So I kind of just had to fake it, for a long time and pretend that I believed things that I didn't believe. And I'm working through that in therapy, and I'm really glad. I'm really proud of myself. Being early and expected to do things. I mean, like cleaning toilets. Who makes a 7-year-old clean toilets because their parents can't pay tithing? Or like even if they weren't making us do it, they were making our mom do it, and they knew our mom was sick, but they were still saying, "Oh, you need to do this because you can't pay your tithing." And it was just like, and then when I learned about the Latter-day Saints, the Mormon Church, and their whole thing with tithing and their like pyramid thing and how they own everything and all the money goes back to them, and like I was just like, this sounds so much like I went through. It's like almost like a blueprint, except for the whole picking the end of the world day and the levels of heaven, which that's just little extra in there. We do not need religion to get our morality. You are very right. Pure exploitation. Yes, I was 7 and 8 cleaning toilets at this place, helping my mom so that she didn't have to. And they knew this. And then they would have us stand up in church and they would clap for us for you're not allowed to clap, but they would have us stand up like to recognize, or they would just say, oh, and thank the family, sitting in the last pew or whatever pew, for helping keep the church clean, like vacuuming it, like you name it. Like it was just, and because we lived nearby and we were renting the house from somebody who was in the church, it was exploitation in the end, yeah. And then they would like give us a little bit and then they would take so much more. They would give us a little bit of help and they would take so much more. And like taking our like thoughts to think for ourselves. And just we were so busy doing things for them, and because of that it was never ending. Even as a child, they have you indoctrinated from the beginning. But I'm so glad that the first thing I learned is that God is love. Love. Yeah, love. That was the first thing I ever learned in Sunday school or Sabbath school or from my grandmother or whatever. God is love. And I believe that in whatever religion, like your God, like whatever religion, like that's the through line, you know? And so that's the goal for most religions, is to spread like love and charity and kindness. And then if they're not doing that, I don't really consider it um you know, good. Like that, don't be evil, don't hate. Like it's not that hard. And by evil, I mean don't knowingly do horrible things to people or force people to do horrible things. Or yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I went through that. I am very sad about my family and like say my aunts and uncles and great aunt and great uncles and cousins that were in it much longer than I was and were deeper in it. And I'm very glad I was not baptized into it, because that would have me sign some sort of contract. And they do that like starting at age 10. And that I was just like, well, I wanted to be baptized, but then I was like, seeing everything my sister went through, and they made her go to a bunch of classes and stuff. And I was like, you know what? It's not that, like, the Bible doesn't say that, like, involved. Like, I mean, in theory, someone could just go dunk me and I'd be baptized. And then Church of Christ, as soon as you have the thought, oh, I want to be baptized. Like literally, if you're driving down the road and you're a Church of Christ, like your family's Church of Christ, and they really take it seriously, you're like, I want to be baptized. Like, I've heard stories applauded in there that the dad pulled off to the side of the road, found the nearest hotel, said, hey, can we use your pool? I need to baptize my daughter. Went, used their pool, baptized their daughter, and then went on their way. Like, and so when I mentioned that I was thinking of getting baptized, they basically tried to force me. No, I'm not, Brutus. Mensch, yes. I do know some Yiddish. No, they tried to force me several times, and in the end, I was not forced. And I had somebody who I care about greatly baptize me, and my best friend at the same time, and that meant a lot. And then I went through a really hard time, and then I decided on my own, after I'd gone through that really hard time, that I wanted to get rebaptized because my beliefs had changed to more like what we're talking about. Not really associated with any particular religion, just that kindness and love and no judgment was what I was going to have and what I was going to project to other people. Kind of like, Dolly Parton. Like that's I strive like that. Like, yeah, I think God's real. Yeah, I think prayer is cool. Like, of course, but at the same time, I don't think it's necessary, because if God or a higher being exists, they can read your thoughts. You don't have to actually separately pray, like in my head. Mormons do journaling. Like, Dolly is so amazing. I love her cake mixes, by the way. And her frosting, her buttercream frosting through Duncan Hines. Vanilla buttercream. Amazing. Or maybe it's just buttercream. It's really good. It's time for, but yeah, Dolly Parton is fabulous. Oh hey. Let's see. Yeah, so that's cool. I'm so glad you're back. We were talking about how we love Dolly Parton because she, when people ask her like about religion, because we've been talking about that before a little bit, how like it was hard being raised in different ways that like are hard on anybody, let alone children, and being exploited and things. When I realized like what Dolly Parton felt, and I already loved her music, and my mom already loved her as a person and as a musician and a singer, like that. So when I saw interviews with her when I was younger about, people asked her, oh, hey, you're Christian, right? Like, what are your beliefs? And then she would say, I can't judge anybody. I lead with kindness and love in my heart. And judgment is for God. I don't know what anybody else is going through. I know what I'm going through. People can tell me what they're going through, and I will sit there and I will listen, but I will not judge. And when she said that, I was like, that is what I can vibe with. Like, that is something I can understand because that's not going to hurt people. That's not going to hurt me. That's only going to make it better. It's actually gold plated. Or actually, no, this one. It's silver and gold plated. But I have another one that's gold. That's a family ring. That one's really pretty. It has my birthstone in it. I prefer not diamonds. Because I just never really have liked the sparkle with diamonds. So I got this one that has pearl in it. I have fur children. I don't have children, but I have little cousins and nieces and nephews to hang around with. But yeah, no, we're good. I mean, but yeah, our dogs and like pets, including Cutie over there, little parakeet. They take up enough of our time, and it's like perpetually having like 5-year-olds or like 4-year-olds like all the time. Yeah, I actually speak some Spanish. In my like part of town, or like growing up in Arizona, you had to learn, and then growing up in California, you had to learn some. So yeah, buena gente. Yeah, really, thanks. German Shepherd lab mix. He's like over 100 pounds. He's huge. And then pug. And then Cutie's asleep. But Thank you. I went to this place in Tucson called the Sugar Bowl, and like if we wanted to go for like a day trip or something, we would drive the hour and a half or whatever to Tucson. But like I just would remember like driving through Apache Junction, like like just the whole of Arizona, because my mom liked to go on road trips, to New Mexico also. Flagstaff's beautiful. It's just a beautiful place. The desert, the painted desert, and then we look at the petrified forest. I actually don't remember the Grand Canyon. I was taken there as a very young child, but I don't remember the Grand Canyon. Saw Montezuma's castles and I walked through them. I did many a really cool field trip. Papago Peak, Sedona, family in Sedona. I don't have mods just because I don't feel like anybody should have to do it, and I'd just rather be the one controlling it, because some things that mods would delete, I wouldn't delete because I'm just a kind person and I leave it up, and just what has happened before is I've left it up and I've been kind about things, and the person has taken back what they said or said, oh yeah, maybe that is, something to think about. So yeah, moderators are just kind of, for me right now, not really necessary, because there's 4 of us here. But Sedona is beautiful. My grandpa actually worked at a Western wear place in Sedona. One of the few memories I have as a child, because due to all the trauma in the cults, like it just wiped a lot of my memories. But one of the few memories I have in Sedona is going to the Western wear shop he worked at and smelling all the leather and seeing all the fringe on everything and the hats and the bags. And to this day, like, leather is, oh no, it's not a pimple. Yeah, actually, I don't have any pimples right now. This is not a pimple, and neither is this. But anyway, where was I going with that? Sedona's gorgeous. I have a lot of freckles and stuff too. And that's fine. And that just means I have healthy skin, and everybody in my family has them, and it's just, we're all in it together. And I do go to the dermatologist, then I get checked out just to make sure, I think everybody should, but I'm very pale, so I really need to make sure that I'm okay. I stay inside a lot because the sun burns me very quickly, and that is really painful. Like I can feel it burning. Yeah. But Sedona's gorgeous. It's probably one of my favorite places. Although Cornville, I don't know if you know Cornville, Brutus. Have you been to Cornville? Because that's one of like the places I have such a good memory of. Like so many like good memories. My step grandma lived there, and it was like, I live near Disneyland, Central Orange County. I live very close to Disneyland. On a clear night, if I just go outside and like look to my right, I can see the fireworks, which is really cool because they're far enough away that it's not loud. But they are just to where you can see them through the trees or like right off to the side of the trees. So that's really cool. And I've always lived near everywhere I've been around here. I've always lived near where I can hear or see the fireworks. And so I would use them as like my nighttime timer to be like, okay, time to get ready to go to bed. Like when I was in school and things, I would use the fireworks timer. The SF Valley, man, so hot out there. Mulholland. Ugh. Okay, so my dad and I took Mulholland one day. Let's see. I do have a support group coming up, as far as I know. Hasn't started yet, but we do it every night, and it's great. My dad lives with me. yeah, and then my fiance, and yeah, I mean, we have a good time. My dad has, I posted in my community page, but my dad has some brain tumors, and so we're, just keeping an eye on him until his surgery, and then after his surgery, and he's having testing done this week, and it's just really hard, because he took care of all of us, so he kind of just let his health fall to the wayside. My birthday? You're asking a lot of, like, I don't mind. You're asking a lot of questions, but it's like, do I really want that on the internet forever? My birthday's midway through January. Mulholland Drive, I had to ride it when the car's AC gave out, and it was 105 that day. And so I got heat exhaustion. And around Mulholland, or I think just when you get down there, there's an Olive Garden or Mimi's Cafe. I think it was a Mimi's Cafe. Yeah. So my dad and I, we pulled into the Mimi's Cafe. That wasn't that far away from Mulholland, like on the way to Burbank. Thank you so much, Brutus. All he wants to do is get back to work, get back to, routine life, everything. That's all he wants. And this is tripping everything up. And it's just, especially in the summer, it's really hard because with these problems in the summer, you can get double vision, you can get dizzy very quickly, you can get dehydrated, that sort of thing. So you really need to be on top of it. And so that just means a lot of appointments, a lot of scans, a lot of checks, and then if everything goes well, hopefully very few side effects and problems afterward. So that's what we're hoping for. And we're going to do everything we can to get him as full as everything we're going to give. We're trying to make him as healthy as possible before the surgery. So, like, he's going for walks every day and staying hydrated and, eating not bad food, like food that's better for him than what he was eating, that sort of thing. We're monitoring this. If anything feels off, we go to the doctor. Yeah. 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 And he raised, 3 women with genetic conditions that were just really hard. Hacker, like, I don't need a moderator, but I am so glad that you fully support me. If I ever do need a moderator, I will think of you, like, if that ever happens. But I will think of you if I ever need a moderator, okay? And I really appreciate that support, really I do. So yeah, every night around 10, I was a little bit late today. I try to hop on, and that, I'm really glad that I do that because it just gives me time to exercise the dog. It gives me time to play with the bird a little bit and time to just decompress before I get ready to go to bed. What do you need, Hacker? But yeah, my dad is a tough guy. Like, they were talking to him about I was asking about all of the possible complications. Did I find the channel to be cathartic? Yeah, I've had it for 13 years. And there are a lot of people I can't talk to about things. And I have therapy twice a week, so like things are getting better. And my therapist and my friends and support group, they encouraged me to do this as well. And so I have found that it's cathartic, but it's also educational. Because a lot of people ask me questions and I answer the questions and they're like, oh, thanks. Wow, I didn't know that. But that's just because I, have ADHD and I just always jump into whatever my brain is like, oh, I have a question. Let me find the answer. That's just me, is I want the answers. And I think it's also because so many answers were withheld from me when I was younger that now I need all the answers. I need the information to make an informed decision or to answer a question with clarity and I don't know what that is. ZYM. But yeah, so I'm proud of myself for doing this. I've been trying to do it most days. And I think it's almost time for. Oh, no, not yet. Oh. I wonder if there will be a support group today. I hope so. Fingers crossed. My smile is very cute. Thanks. I'm working on it a lot. I have a gum problem, so thankfully my dentist is like 4 houses down. Um, thank you, Brutus. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. That means a lot because I've really started to make progress just the past like 2 years when I really dove into it and figured out what they did to my brain. And I was starting to talk to other people around my age who had been through the same thing. Maybe not as much as I had, but at least to some extent. So, hey Matt, have you seen Crix yet? Because, I'm here. I haven't seen her yet, so I don't want to, um, thanks, hacker. I have good genetics and I'm very grateful. A lot of people, say that I'm beautiful, and I, of course, believe it because why would I not believe something positive about myself? I used to just be like, oh no, it's nothing. I don't think I look beautiful at all. But, like, honestly, now when I look in the mirror, I'm like, that lady is gorgeous. Like, you're doing great. So, I'm doing the best I can. So yeah, probably in about 11:45 Pacific Standard Time, I'm gonna be off of here, if not a little bit earlier, unless our support group doesn't happen, then I'll stay on for a little bit. And hello, shut up, Matt. How are you doing this morning? Matt, Brutus has been so, oh wow, I didn't know you could do that. Brutus has been so kind and listened to my, like, cult stuff that I was talking about earlier. So I don't know if later you want to go back and, like, listen to some of it, but it's mostly what I've already shared in support group anyway. You just woke up and you're here to see me. Thank you. Guys, go subscribe to Shut Up Matt. Shut with 2 T's up Matt. Duke of many things. He has a great channel, very informative. Like me, when he is interested in something, he goes into it, and I just get sucked in and I want to learn everything. And that's me, like, I want to learn everything. Because everything was hidden from me for so long. I said, oh no, we can't learn about that. We can't learn about that. We can't learn about that. And so, I would sneak books and I would sneak music and, like, have to not tell anybody that I've, heard it even. It's kind of like in Gilmore Girls, Roy's best friend, Lane, she's Korean. A lot of Koreans are Seventh-day Adventists. Not a lot of Koreans, but in Seventh-day Adventism, there are generally a Korean church that meets at the same church at a different time of day. And like I wasn't going to Seventh-day Adventist church, and my grandfather found out. And I said, well, there's one that meets at the church that I'm going to now, but they only speak Korean. And he's like, oh, well, you would get the same message. And I was just like, I would not understand Korean. But he was like, you should go to that one anyway. And I was like, I'll take just a regular old church where everybody is, accepting and loving and anybody can come. Doesn't matter anything. That's the kind of, like, if I was to go to a church, that would be the kind of place I would go. No judgment. Thank you, Brutus. I mean, there's a lot more interesting things. But yeah, I just felt like sharing that because, I don't know, it just needed to be said. And thank you for asking good questions because it really was exploitative. And I'm very sad that my whole family had to go through that on both sides with different cults. And I was put into both. And that was very difficult for me. And then I was also a professional ballet dancer, which was a whole nother type of high control group. Oh boy. And it was all about pleasing one or two people. And I'm so glad I got out of that as well. Like, that has so much trauma attached to it that it's just over there for right now. I haven't been able to yet work on it in trauma therapy. I have worked on like a couple things, but that's it. And it's staying over there in a container for later right now. And it is very traumatic. They just scare you. They scare you so much that you're afraid to do anything for fear you're gonna go to hell, or for fear you're not gonna impress someone, or you're gonna lose your job or your spot in the company, or you're gonna, you know, backslide and have to make up for it. Like, ballet dancers have so many frequent injuries that makes totally a lot of sense. And I have seen some horrific injuries. I myself have had horrific injuries. But a lot of the time when you're in dance, because the dance can give you dopamine, like when people with ADHD play sports, like it really calmed that down for me, and I was able to focus and I was able to get it done because there was schedule and there was, what I was to do, and there were rules, and like that was super cool. But culture and the high control aspect of it was way too much for me and for many of my friends, and so we all ended up forming like a trauma bond, and most of us are still in therapy about it right now. Some people are trying to take that time back, and now they're adults and they're like, I'm gonna do this for me now. I'm not gonna do this to impress anybody else. It's just for me, and if any of my friends want to get in on it, let's go. But like, they're not gonna do it by themselves. No one person is in charge, and everybody gets to contribute, which that's the way it should be. Because even in college when I danced, it was, you were impressing these people to get these parts. And I was so tired of it. I went to physical therapy today. And because of dance, I've been in physical therapy since I was 12, like regularly because of these injuries and trying to prevent the injuries. And even though I tried to prevent them, I kept getting them. So I would have to take breaks, like maybe a 3-month break to heal from one injury. And then I would come back for like, I don't know, 6 months, 9 months, and then have to take a month off and then come back. Oh, I haven't seen the movie because I have a lot of trauma around that particular ballet. A lot of trauma around that particular part in the ballet. And I don't think Natalie Portman did a very good job portraying what it looks like. Center Stage. Now that's one that I think I could watch, even though it would probably still like give me the heebie-jeebies. But Center Stage also really shows what dancers go through on a company level, which is where I was at. And so that's kind of more what I went through. Yeah. Than the one with Natalie Portman. But yeah, it's funny. At the time, my therapist, she went to see that movie. And she was like, "Oh, I went to see the movie and I immediately thought of you." And I was like, "Why did you tell me that?" Because now I'm thinking of all the times when I was just traumatized by that. I was like, ever since I was young, like they kept shoving that down our throats. Like, you have to learn this part, you have to learn this part, you have to learn this part. And like, in the end, like I think we did that part, that black swan part and the white swan part. We did both of them in one show. And our director rehearsed us until midnight one night. Midnight. Our class started at 8. She rehearsed us for 4 hours. Again, again, again. Okay, this is the last time. Oh nope, we gotta do it again. Hey, Heather Mac. Is it about time for meds, Heather? Or is Chow here? Anyway, yeah, so like as much as I appreciated the representation of how grueling it is to have to go through that. Exactly. Going through that, like, was just how grueling it was portrayed in the movie. And it was also portrayed in Center Stage, which was fabulous because they also had, like, the kind of little things like, oh, the love triangles, which do exist, and like the bad boys do exist and like the good guys do exist, and then like the directors and things, like it was very much like on the level of what I would go through regularly. um and the favoritism also, and the eating disorders, unfortunately, like it all just like wrapped up, and the racism, unfortunately. um it was hard, but you know, we did what we had to do because our parents and our coaches said, this is what you want to do if you want to do it, and you got to do it now because you only have, 12 years to dance, whereas you have the rest of your life for school. That's what they would tell us. When we were like 12, they're like, you probably only got like 12 more years if you want to be a professional, because most professionals would retire at that time by like 26, 28, you know? They would retire, except for a very few amount. And so they would say, you know, school is forever, but dance isn't. And so everybody would just go balls to the wall on dance and not even think twice about schooling. So many people, including me, were homeschooled so that we could dance even more. And I wish I had learned to, snowboard or skateboard. Like I wanted to do those things because I was a total tomboy. I wanted to play baseball. I wanted to play kickball. I wanted to do that stuff. But because I wasn't in dance, if I hurt myself, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So it's just, um, I lost out on a lot of things because of it. I mean, I gained a lot of knowledge. I gained so many friends. And I learned a lot along the way about narcissists and controlling people and finding people who actually give a crap about you in a world that sucks. Heather Mack is a wonderful person. She also had ties to the SDA church. So, yeah, Heather Mack, were you in it or did you just have ties? I'm not sure. But I was talking about it earlier and how they were so exploitative of our family and controlling to an egregious extent. To an extent where they extended my grandfather's, what is it? Trust or will? Adjacent, yes. Trust or, so when my grandfather died, they asked him to leave 25% of his whatever was left after he died and whatever was sold, etc., to the cult, the Seventh day Adventists. Because he was a teacher at one of their universities and he was a deacon and he was just expected to give and give and give. And also because some of my family wasn't in such good standing because we didn't believe the same things. Once we found out exactly what they were asking us to believe. And once that, in order to buy, they give 25% of a to the cult, and then the cult took 5 years to settle it. 5 years. I know I'm hoping later, like around midnight maybe. But yeah, so I wanted to come on here and talk about that. My honey's in the other room doing some paperwork, so I didn't want to interrupt him. That's what I was mentioning. It's so terrifying, especially as a young person, because anytime anything big bad happens, even like these forest fires in Washington, like there are so many people up there that are probably thinking this is the end of times. Like this is it. And I remember whenever anything like that would happen, and sometimes to this day, but I catch myself now because of therapy. But whenever anything big like that happened or happens, my immediate first instinct is, oh boy, it's the end of days. Like the world's gonna end soon, and like that's my like immediate knee-jerk reaction. And I really want that to go away because I feel like I'm always on edge because there's so many things happening in the world, and there have been for a long time, that have just been so negative lately in a very large scale. And it's kind of at this point like you wish it was the end of days, because maybe that would be better than what we're experiencing now based on what I was brainwashed to believe growing up. So if I believed what I was brainwashed to believe growing up, then I would want it to be the end of days, because then everything would be better. Like I would have a healed body and a healed mind, and I would be able to. Oh, they don't believe animals go. They don't believe there are animals in heaven, and so that also I was like, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. It said like the lion will lie down with the lamb or whatever, and I was just like, you can't tell me there's no animals in heaven, because then I don't want to go. I was like, I want to see my dog again. Brutus, you've been so awesome tonight. I hope you have a great night. I hope it's uneventful, no nightmares or anything, and that when you wake up, you feel rested, and just, I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming by and, giving your thoughts and asking good questions. And, it means a lot to me because really kind comments, you know. They really meant a lot. I really hope you have a great night. Yeah, and I always will stay positive and hopeful. I was speaking with two of my best friends today. Best friends that are probably, gosh, one is 20-year best friend as of this year, and the other one is probably 16 years. Yeah, probably 16 years of being a best friend. And they're married, which is wonderful because it's just so much easier to to hang out with them. But what was I saying? Oh, positive and hopeful. Yes. So I was talking with them and we were talking about just some things that were not positive or hopeful. And I said, and I just always say, and I'm not sure why it is, but I always have to find, I don't know if it's I have to, but my brain automatically like finds a silver lining to like whatever negative thing happened, almost whatever negative thing happened. My brain is like, well, at least in the end, this good thing happened. And I don't know if like, again, it was the indoctrination or if it's just me trying to stay positive in a world that is pretty negative right now and in a time of my life that's like just been rough all around. And in my extended family, like we're not having that easy of a time, with losing family members and just having to deal with a lot. So it's just 1 minute at a time. That's all we can do. Yeah, that's all we can do. And I'm glad I have that silver lining, like switch in my brain that just always turns on when something negative happens. But at the same time, sometimes you just need to sit in the negativity for a little bit to actually feel it because I have a hard time feeling those negative emotions because I find that silver lining so quickly. Heather Buddhist was so extremely nice and kind, asked wonderful questions, and was just a really cool person to have in the chat, and I appreciate that. How are you doing, Heather? How's the air quality up there? I've been worried. I'm gonna go need to I'll get my meds probably in like 15 minutes because they're finally working quickly. Yesterday I took my medication and then I had a bowl of cereal and then probably, I don't know, an hour later, like I was out. I woke up at the kitchen table. Like I woke up at the kitchen table with milk spilled all over my pajamas because oh, I'm so glad. But yeah, so I was eating my thing and I guess I fell asleep like mid bite, and so there was milk and cereal on my pajamas from last night. And I was like, well, I guess that means my pills are working on time now. So I'm just gonna keep track of when I take my pills and then when I feel them working so that when that time gets to be too long, I can let my doctor know that I need to go back for another surgery, which is a procedure kind of with a little surgery in there. I've been really sick the past 2 days. Oh, that sucks. But yeah, it was hilarious because I was like, oh my god, this never happens. I never fall asleep this early. I know, Matt. I was like, should I get that out of there? Because that's some pretty yummy cereal. I was literally thinking that. It was hilarious. But yeah, so I'm glad the meds are actually working because before I was taking till 4 or 5 in the morning for them to work, and I would take them at 11 or right before 11 and they wouldn't work until 4:30. And that was just too much for me because I lost the entire day. Exactly, Heather. If it was the last of it, I would have at least gotten the pieces of cereal. I mean, the milk. absorbed, right? But I would have at least got this year. Oh, look, you can see the night sky with light pollution here in California. It's midnight now, so. Oh, I missed Duolingo today. Oh well, I didn't really feel like doing it. I went to physical therapy earlier and she reset all of my ribs, which I really appreciated, because I couldn't breathe because of the paralytic, like I had mentioned. And I talked to her, my physical therapist, about that. And she was very understanding and agreed that that was probably the problem, was that the medication ratios weren't right, because it was a new on-call doctor that was helping instead of the doctor I originally had, who made a specific list with specific doses and specific order to give the medications in, and they did not follow that. They're just, oh, we'll just give them all to you when you're in there when you're asleep. And I was like, you don't understand. I don't go to sleep. And they even tried to get me to have an anesthesia that was a lighter anesthesia. And I was like, you don't understand. There's a reason for this. So anyway, I'm able to actually, like, eating that cereal last night as like solid food was like amazing. I haven't really been able to eat solid food for a very long time. So I was really, really stoked. And then the fact that I also fell asleep, like heck, this is awesome. This is what it's supposed to be like. So now I just have to do my best to keep track, and I have a bunch, because the procedure was so quickly scheduled because of how bad off I was. I have a lot of specialist appointments that were scheduled for this week and last week that I had to cancel because of the surgery. Um, so I have to reschedule like 8 appointments that are either tests or specialists, and then also with my primary care, and that's not counting like going to the lab for blood work. And she wants me to go at like 9 in the morning just so she can check like my blood sugars and stuff, but it's like 9, can you send someone to my house? Like, oh boy. How are you, Matt? Heather, I'm sorry you're sick. Is it from smoke inhalation, or is it just from just not feeling good? Because when there's anything in the air, you're more likely to get sick. Let's see what time it is. It's only 12:03. Okay. Probably take my meds in like 15 minutes. So yesterday I watched the In Your Instant Master? Instant mashed potatoes? Okay. Yeah. Today with some turkey gravy. I was gonna make some ground turkey, but I was too sore, and my physical therapist was like, you rest, woman. You rest. And so I'm resting. I'm not doing anything heavy. I was able to take my time with our big dog for treating his ear infection. And I had some extra treats to entice him to be okay. He was so hilarious. I'm so sad for you, Heather. My insides are just waking up from being paralyzed. Yet they were over paralyzed. And so today it's just been kind of be careful what you eat today kind of day. So that's why I had some mashers. Are you not okay with mashers or with milk? Curious. Just because I can have lactate and it has more vitamin D in it, which I need more of because I can't really go outside and absorb any, and I have a hard time absorbing vitamins anyway. But yeah, so Yeah, I did have a few goldfish the night before that, or yesterday, yeah, which was like super awesome. But I kind of let those like dissolve in my mouth a little bit, but still delicious. I hadn't been able to eat those for so long. Like, yeah, so cool. Okay, I'm gonna go on my meds and then we can do night meds. Sound good? Thumbs up if you want to do meds. FODMAP is something else. I tried that before I did low histamine, and low histamine worked for me. Also, I'm on low histamine, low fiber, low fat, and like hypoglycemic. Like it's all. Oh, and then I can't have. I have allergies because of mast cell, so it's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna put this on mute real quick. I'm gonna go get my meds, and I'll be right back. Puppy already went to bed. Super surprised she went on her own, but we already played earlier, so she was tired, which is good. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get meds. Okay, guys, I'll be back. Oh, Matt, yep. Yep. Because when you don't feel well, food just feels just to be too much of a hurdle, because if you eat something and then, like Heather was saying, you have a flare up, or you never know what it's going to be that's going to make you feel bad for the most part. I mean, there's some things, like for me, if I eat strawberries, I have anaphylaxis. So that's completely clear. That makes me feel bad. But, oops, having problems that you're not 100% nailed down on what you can and can't eat, when you're guessing, it is so difficult to even want to try to eat, especially because at some point you lose the hunger. And when you lose the hunger, you don't care about eating anymore. It's just eating to survive, even if it makes you sick. And it's very hard for the people around you to be knowing that you're not getting enough nutrition, and to see that in the way your body looks and the way you feel and the way your muscles are um, reacting, because when you don't have enough vitamins, they cramp a lot. And I was experiencing that right before. I'm going to set this down for a second so you can still see me, but I was experiencing that right before my procedure, because I had been losing vitamins for so long. I'm going to get my meds together really quick. Oh, what is this? Oh, okay, that's to keep the dog out from under the couch. Are you guys allergic to anything? Yes, what do you eat? Because when they ask, I have dietitians and they're like, and my gastroenterologists and stuff. Oh, you can't really see very well. Between like my dietitians and my gastroenterologists, I'm gonna like keep family first. They're like, okay, so how's your diet? And then I have to tell them, like, I even went to specialists at University of Minnesota several times. And the dietitian and nutritionist and endocrinologist came in like together, and they were like, okay, so these are all the separate pamphlets for your conditions of what you can and can't eat. And I said, they all contradict each other. And they were like, yeah, that's why we're gonna come talk to you. At one point, I was on a feeding tube, and honestly, that saved my life. So don't discount it if it ever is needed. I had a surgical tube, which I was painful, but I don't think it was as painful as the one that went in my nose. But yeah, what do you eat? That was the thing, because they were like, so all of these diets are contradictory. And I was like, yes. So now I pretty much stick with the antihistamine, the low histamine diet. And I can sit. That's it. And that really is super helpful for me, because if my histamines aren't being triggered, then it's easier for me to digest the other foods that I'm eating. Okay, and to digest those foods, I have to take these pills, which digest them for me, which also make me very full. Excuse me. It's about 20 minutes after I take them. So I was telling my doctor this. My doctor, who's a professor at a very prominent local research hospital and teaching hospital, and he saved my booty, like literally and figuratively. Anyway, he made life so much easier for me when he was like, just do you. Write down what feels okay. Don't feel bad about not being able to eat everything. As long as we're going and we're moving forward and we're not like actively oh no, Matt, I wasn't assuming that. But Matt wouldn't be able to decide, would he? If wife wants something, wife gets that something, and then Matt has some. Right? Oh, did you want to say hi? Okay, let me get my pills, and then you can say hi, okay? I think she heard the word food, eat, and then she was like, I must come to you. Back when my pancreatitis was so bad that I literally couldn't eat anything aside from like a third of a can of SpaghettiOs and some Gatorade every once in a while. Like, my parents, and my sister, they were just waiting for me to say the name, like I was hungry. They were waiting for me to say, like, ooh, this sounds good. And then they would book it to the place and book it back. Or like if I was hungry, my dad would take me like in the middle of the night to Walmart to just get whatever I possibly could, like in the cart that I maybe could eat. That maybe sounded good. And then at that time, my hospitalist, who I saw the most whenever I would be inpatient, which was a lot because I wasn't able to eat, he suggested that I have medical cannabis. And he's like, you can even get like a cookie, or a lollipop or something, and that can help you be hungry. And I was like, since I was so brainwashed by the cult, I was like, no, like I don't want to go to hell. And he's like, I think God would want you to be able to eat. And he's like, and do you believe that God made doctors? Like, he made people want to be doctors? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, well then, God made these plants, do you think that the people who use them are going to hell? And he was like, and the people that take them are going to hell? And I was like, no. And he was like, okay, then what's the problem? And he said, I don't know, it's just like a block there. So they tried giving me a bunch of medications. Oof. And those medications just gave me side effects and more side effects. And so once I was fed up with the side effects, in the middle of the night one night, I called up a friend and I was like, hey, like, I know you have medicinal cannabis for your condition. Like, what do you think? Because I can't eat anymore. And I can't sleep because the pain is so severe. I'm not hungry. Like, my grandpa was so worried, and I just hated to see them like that, and I needed relief. And so when they brought me some cotton candy, it was a very, very low dose, and I just had a little bit, but like, it just cleared my head. I didn't get high. I've never really been high except for once when I had a whole edible when I wasn't supposed to have the whole thing, and it was like medical grade. And I didn't realize. Anyway, if she knew what she wants, they'd be giving it to her. I'm not sure the tune of that, but yeah, My man feels the same way. If he knew what I wanted, he goes out and gets it, especially when I'm not feeling hungry or if I'm nauseous, etc. It's like having a pregnant wife again, because the things that you can eat change so much, and it's just for a little while you can eat it, but you don't know if you can eat it for long term. And then it might change the next day, or it might, stick in the rotation of things you can eat. But also, like, texture wise, I have things that I can't stand the texture of. So sorry it's taken me a hot minute to get all my meds together with all my medical problems. Guys, are you kidding me? Hold on, I don't even know if I'm done yet. Let me show you this BS. It's not BS because it keeps me alive, but to me it's BS because I don't think I should need all of this, even though I do. Look at that. Oh, plus a Benadryl. Because I've been getting itchy when I take my, since post-surgery, I've been getting itchy when I take my pain medication. And right pre-surgery when, I was taking more pain medication. I'm so done. I'm finishing my antibiotics right now, though, that I've been on for like 10 days, so Okay. I usually swallow with my tongue, with my chin tucked, so that I don't swallow air, and I forgot. Heather, it's not the, it's not the medicine. We don't compare here. We don't judge. We don't compare. Girl, if 2 pills is too much for you, 2 pills is too much. 2 pills is too much for me. You know, like this is just, it's just what I need. It's just crazy, but you know, I'm glad I'm able to have the medication. I am very thankful that I'm able to have doctors who prescribe it. I'm very thankful that it helps me at least get to sleep and stay asleep for about 5 hours, and then I have to wake up again, take another dose of this guy and another dose of this guy, and then I can get back to sleep with less nightmares for another like 4 hours, and then I get up and start the reassembly of putting all my joints back in place every morning, which is very painful. But anyway, all that to say, are we ready, everybody, for our night and day meds? Get them out, get them out, get them out, get them out, get them out. Okay, let me know. Put a pill in the chat when you're ready. Also, guys, make sure you're hydrating. I mean, where I am right now, it's probably 65% humidity, and it's probably, we have the air conditioner set at 78 and it's on. So that's telling you something. We are not cooling off at night, so I'm just hydrating to the max. I don't win. And my morning pills are much less than my night pills, which I really appreciate. And I do have a couple extra pills in today because I'm in extra pain. And because of the extra pain, I have to take the Benadryl, which means that adds like 3 more pills. So, and then this pill is just to be able to digest them, like, on time. Okay, so everybody, it's time for night meds. Take your night meds. They're a modern pharmacology. Night meds. Time for night meds. They can help your physiology. Take them well before you go to sleep. They work while you're busy counting sheep. When you take your night meds, it's a happy, healthy snooze time. A snory snooze time. You'll have a sleepy time. Night meds. And remember to sip first whatever drink you're drinking with them so the pills don't stick. So I'm going to take probably half of mine at a time because I just had my surgery the other day. And I don't want to overdo it all at once. Okay. I can take them all at once, so sometimes one gets stuck and then I go, yeah, I don't want to even. A lot of people put the pills in first, but I just can't do that. Okay, and I'll take the rest now that I'm going to sing the day med song. Okay. I know I miss a verse, but honestly, we get the gist, and I can never remember the verse, so just the way I do it is just fine. Okay. Day meds, daylight coming, you gotta take meds. Day meds, daylight coming, you gotta take meds. come, Mr. Doctor Man, help me with my problems. Daylight come and you gotta take a med. Walk to the pharmacy to pick up my prescription. Daylight come and you gotta take a med. Take 1 pill, 2 pill, 3 pill, drink. Daylight come and you gotta take a med. 1 pill, 2 pill, 3 pill, drink. Daylight come and you gotta take meds. Oh, I miss Mark. You guys, I've been thinking about him and I'm just really hoping that everything is moving forward. At least not getting worse. Not getting worse. That's what we want. And I'm gonna take my meds. If you swallow like that, you're less likely to get air in your airway going down. That makes you cough or sputter or whatever. So if you take your drink and then swallow, it really helps. I learned that from a speech pathologist at the hospital, and ever since, or actually, I learned that one from a nurse who treated stroke patients, and they would aspirate on their water, and I was having some trouble. I wasn't aspirating, but I was having trouble keeping it down. She said, try tucking your chin when you drink. Yeah, that's how you collate meds. Go to the surgery, fill out a repeat prescription. Daylight come and your wife, you take med. Then request 2 days later. And then collect them from the pharmacy. My wife and son then collate. My dad used to do that for me with pills. So they put all the pills in the container, a box for each day. So this is what I do. I have 6 and I take pills 6 times a day. I prefer to use the 7-day one for 1 day because then I can have my 6 times and then my migraine pill and my nausea pill and my Benadryl in here in case I need it in this side. And I can only take 1 every 24 hours. So this will be like morning, afternoon, pre-evening, dinner time, evening, nighttime, and then middle of the nighttime. And then a migraine pill in case I need it. And then like I'll do the morning, afternoon, and evening in this one. Or like morning, afternoon, and then early evening in this one. And then still have the other side for meds that are like just in case, like a nausea pill or an allergy pill, or I also have a migraine pill in this one because I am never without a migraine pill. I have been there before and oh boy, not okay. I also write what time I took it because I can only take 1 every 24 hours. So I write down on the packet what time I took the pill and I just keep that packet, or the blister pack I should say. Why do they make it so hard to get a migraine pill or a nausea pill out when you're nauseous or have a migraine? How are you supposed to get it out? Like I get it cannot touch, water, totally understandable, but yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now? That we took our pills. I think I pushed the wrong button. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna put my pills just for the morning in here. Yeah. Use 2 7-day, 1 for AM, 1 for PM, and a bottle marked D for after dinner. Yeah, the fiber at night is really difficult because then sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and then you can't get back to sleep. Finding the timing for that it's hard. I had that problem with Miralax, so I stopped taking it. I switched to a pill instead, which I haven't needed that much, so I'm really thankful for that. Let's see. Thank you. I'm glad I'm back. Okay, I'm gonna fill my med book. Guys, I finished my antibiotics. I've been on them for, like I said, like 10 days. So, 10 days of antibiotics is a lot. And they turned my pee a weird color because, I don't know, they're a weird color. So I was freaked out at the beginning and then I Googled it. Yeah, I'm having a hot flash too. Although it could just be the humidity, but my honey wanted me to get one of those Shark Cool Mist fan things they have at Sam's Club, but it's $80. Anyway, Heather, I'm gonna fill my pills and then skedaddle. Bye. Thank you for coming for our meds and to hang out a little bit because that was fun. After I'm done with this, I'm gonna go eat some cereal and then hopefully I will be able to sorry if the pill sound is there. I'll be able to go to sleep shortly after because now the pills are actually hitting my stomach and getting digested on time, which is just, I'm so grateful for that. Matt, you're doing great. I just want to say that. You're doing wonderfully. You remind me a lot of my honey. It was like, if you want something, I'll go get it. Like, I'm here to help. And I told him today, I was like, thank you so much for all your help. I always tell him, but because it's a lot of help. It's a lot of help. It's a lot of time out of his day. He can only have a job that will let him help me. And, you know, sometimes I feel sad about that. But at the same time, I'm just grateful he wants to. And that he loves me enough to want to take care of me, not just to feel that he has to. Because caretakers can... Yeah, you can go live. I'm almost done. Because caretakers can really feel it, you know, and I totally understand that. I was a caretaker for my mom, and I really did, you know, I felt that exhaustion as a child, you know, so I can only imagine when you're older and, you know, maybe not as understanding or used to, I should say maybe not as used to it. There you go. Buttered tiger bread. Is that like marble, chocolate, and or is it like orange and vanilla? Because we have chocolate and vanilla here. That's marble, and then we have like orange and vanilla, and that's like creamsicle, which I would think might be tigering. That sounds like a fun name. Tiger bread. Like Tiger Balm. I used to take Tiger Balm. But yeah, if I put the pills in the night before, it's a lot easier than trying to remember exactly what I'm supposed to take at 8 in the morning. Okay, so I got all of that, and I got all of that. Okay, well, I'm gonna go then. Tell your wife that I really am pulling for her, and then when you go live, I'll watch while I eat my cereal, and then hopefully I'll be able to go to sleep, which would be freaking amazing because I haven't had enough sleep. So, oh, and then I also have to do this. It's a lot, but I'm okay. Keeps me going. I'm so glad she was able to eat something. I'm so glad Heather was here. And sorry, forgetting names. Everybody who showed up, Brutus, and everyone who showed up in the beginning and was really supportive. Like, I really appreciate all of you. And I'm glad that she was able to get some fat and some carbs and calories and hopefully some sugar in with all of that in the same piece of bread. Yeah, because I mean, we really need it, and it's really hard for us when there's so much pain with eating, or no hunger to eat, or just exhaustion. So, yay to your wife. Give her a high five for me if she's up for it. I've been there. I know what it's like. Tell her not, ask her, or tell her from somebody who's been through it that in the end, trying not to feel bad about it because you do want to help really lifts the weight off of both of the shoulders of you and of her. So, if she can come to the realization that she's worth it, worth the extra time that you're putting in to take care of her, and that she's worth, like, this took me forever to understand myself, but worth the help that she needs, and the just that her life is worth going through this hard patch for. And even if this is like the new normal, it will get figured out. You know, we're not doing what if, we're doing even if this is the new normal, we'll figure it out, you know? We'll go to the doctors, we'll go to the dietitians, you know? It's gonna be okay. And yeah, and she's got, you know, great people looking out for her. And yeah, I'm really proud of her because it's extremely hard when you can't eat very well and your body just can't do it. So yeah, I'm really proud of you, and I'm proud of her, and I'm proud of Heather and everybody here and all of us who took our meds, or anybody who's just watching. I made 100 subscribers. High five. Thank you to anybody who subscribed. I don't make money off YouTube, and I can't because I can't make any extra money. Otherwise, I lose my healthcare. But I really appreciate it because, like Brutus was asking, it is a little bit cathartic to do. It's just nice to share some stories and answer people's questions and that sort of thing. And then just talk about, you know, my day and how things are going. Yeah. Okay, Matt, your turn. Anybody who wants to? Shut up, Matt. The Duke of Many Things. I think it's either a Duke of Many Things or the Duke of Many Things. Will be on his channel. If you type at Shut Up Matt with 2 T's, @ shut with 2 T's, up Matt with 2 T's, all one word, you'll get there. Have a good night, everybody. I almost made it to 2 hours. That's really long, but time for bed. Bye. Let's see. It's always so weird when I end this because it takes a little bit. Oh, real quick. Oh, you're sleeping? Okay, I'm gonna turn off the light for you, babe. Good night.